Let me continue with that. Second time again, to recover the remnant of his people, which shall be left from Assyria, and from Egypt, and from Pathros, and from Cush, and from Elam, and from Shinar, and from Hamath, and from the islands of the sea. And he shall set up an ensign for the nations, and shall assemble the outcast of Israel. All right, so that's who the Gentiles are going into. The Gentiles are talking about the outcast of Israel. All right, it's not talking about all these other nations, man. All right, the Gentiles are going into the outcast of Israel. Okay, because Israel was scattered. That was one of the curses in Deuteronomy, the 28th chapter. Okay, that Israel would be scattered amongst their enemies, man. Okay, are we not scattered amongst our enemies, man? All right, did not the so-called white man take you and put you into slavery, right? So those were your enemies, man. Okay, there were there's Israelites among the Elamites. There's Israelites among the Moabites, right? We're among all nations, man. All right, and this is what's getting into the Gentiles, man. All right, the Gentiles are Israelites who fell away from their heritage, man. That's what the Gentiles are, man. Right now, all the brothers coming back to the fact that they're Israelites. We were considered Gentiles, man. All right, growing up in this world, we were considered Gentiles because we didn't keep the customs of the scriptures. We didn't keep the customs that the Most High gave to us, man. All right, we didn't keep the Sabbath, man. We didn't observe the Sabbath. We didn't observe the Passover. We didn't observe any of these things, man. All right, we didn't understand the knowledge of the Most High and how to be, man. All right, we're eating all sorts of abominations. We're doing all type of abominable acts, man. All right, which made us acts of following after what? The heathen. Okay, which made us what? Gentiles. Okay, let me continue with that. The outcast of Israel, and gather together the dispersed of Judah from the four corners of the earth. All right, so that's what the Most High is going to do. He's going to gather the dispersed of Judah, the dispersed of Israel, okay, from the four corners of the earth, right? And then what's he going to do after that? The envy also of Ephraim shall depart, and the adversaries of Judah shall be cut off. Ephraim shall not envy Judah, and Judah shall not vex Ephraim, but they shall fly upon the shoulders of the Philistines, right, towards the west. They shall spoil them of the east towards together. They shall lay their hand upon Edom and Moab, man, going into what? The so-called white man, which is Edom, and Moab, which is the so-called Chinese, man. All right. It said that what? They shall put their hands upon Edom and Moab, but it's mainly Edom. Edom's gonna get exterminated, man. All right. But Moab also has a great judgment coming to him, man. Okay. Moab is in league with Esau, man. Okay. That's why it says what? Woe unto you, O Asia. All right. It says that in the Apocrypha. Okay. Because that were partakers with her, talking about they were partakers with Babylon and the so-called white man. Okay. So guess what? The Most High is going to come back. He's going to judge the so-called white man, right, with the worst judgment. But you Moabites as well. You're going to get judged, man. All right, for being partakers with him. Okay. Okay, and the children of Ammon shall obey them. All right, so that's going into slavery, man. Okay, let me read that again. But they shall fly upon the shoulders of the Philistines towards the west. They shall spoil them of the east together. They shall lay their hand upon Edom and Moab, and the children of Ammon shall obey them, man. All right, that's going into us having these other nations in slavery in the kingdom of heaven, man. All right, because contrary to popular belief, man, the kingdom of heaven is not for everybody, man. All right, the kingdom of heaven is for the Israelites. Okay. So right now the Israelites are on the bottom, but when Yahushua comes back to redeem us, we're going to be on the top again. All right, and we're going to be on the top forever. Okay, so all these other nations and the so-called white man and the rest of these heathens, right? They're going to have hell to pay when Yahushua comes back. Okay, and that's why they're going to be in great fear when he comes back, because they're going to know that that's the end of their world, man. That's the end of their rulership, man. Okay. The Most High gave all these nations a chance to rule. Okay, he gave the so-called white man a chance to rule. He gave the Persians a chance to rule. Okay, he gave the Elamites, he even gave these Moabites, man, a chance to rule. Okay, So the next person, the last people to rule, and the final people to rule is going to be the Israelites, man, his people, who are going to rule forever in righteousness. All right? And Kol Ha'olim Yahweh B'Hashem Yahweh Shai for that. All right? Let me see if there's any more here. This is verse 15. And the Lord shall utterly destroy the tongue of the Egyptian sea, and with his mighty wind shall he shake his hand over the river, and shall smite it in the 7 streams, and make men go over dry. Okay, so go over dry land. But anyways, I'm gonna go into Isaiah the 14th chapter. All right, because that was getting into what? That was getting into slavery, man. That was getting to the point that these other nations, these heathens, are gonna actually be in slavery under the Israelites, man. We're gonna have the so-called white man, these Moabites in slavery, man, in the kingdom of heaven. All right, in the kingdom of heaven, man. All right, that's written in the Bible. All right. So that's what's gonna happen, okay? Because all this wickedness that the so-called white man has done on the planet Earth, he has to pay for that, man. All right, he has to pay for that. He can't just go and do all this wickedness, right? He stole the land from Gad, the so-called Native Americans, all right? Destroyed all the indigenous of North, South, and Central America, all right? Killed pregnant women, you know, killed babies, all right? This is what the so-called white man did, all right? So there has to be a recompense for that, okay? There has to be judgment for that. And the Most High is about to issue that judgment right now, okay? Once that World War III pops off, that's the end of your world, man. All right? Simultaneously, Yahweh Shai is going to come back, and he's going to put you devils in slavery, man. All right? And that's going to be a beautiful day, okay? And this is Isaiah 14, start at verse 1. For the Lord, Yahweh B'Hashem Yahweh Shai, will have mercy on Jacob, and will yet choose Israel, and set them in their own land, and the strangers shall be joined with them, and they shall cleave unto the house of Jacob. All right, so this is another way how we know those gutter rats, the so-called Israelis, are not the true Jews, man. All right, because it says what? That the Lord is going to put them in that land, man. And then it goes into a list of things that will happen once they're in that land, okay? So they don't fit any of the prophecies. They don't fit 1, they don't fit 2, they don't fit any of the prophecies, okay? That's written about in the Bible. In order for you to be an Israelite, you have to fit the prophecies that were prophesied for the Israelites, man. All right? The only ones who fit the prophecies are the so-called blacks, Latinos, and Native Americans, man. Those are the true Israelites according to the Bible, man. All right? And we're here to break it down to you and show you exactly what's going to happen before it happens, man. All right? And the things that were written to happen and that are about to happen, man. All right? This is verse 2. And the people shall take them and bring them to their place, and the house of Israel shall possess them in the land of the Lord for servants and handmaids. All right? So that means that what? That's slavery, right? Servants and handmaids is basically a polite way of saying slaves, man. All right? And they shall take them captives, whose captives they were, and they shall rule over their oppressors, man. All right? So the Israelites are going to rule over that nation that oppressed them, man. All right? And the main nation who oppressed the Israelites is the so-called white man, the Edomites. All right? The biblical Edomites, man. Which are you so-called white people? You are the biblical Edomites, man. All right? So this is the prophecy that's going to happen with the nation of Israel, man. The nation of Israel is going to have you Edomites, right, in slavery, all right, along with these other heathens, man. Okay, but the so-called white man is going to be at the absolute bottom in the slavery, man. All right, because he's committed the most wickedness, man. All right. All right. And shall take them to their place, and the house of Israel shall possess them in the land of the Lord for servants and handmaids, and they shall take them captives, whose captives they were, and they shall rule over their oppressors, man. Right? And it shall come to pass in that day that the Lord, Yahweh B'Hashem Yahweh Shai, shall give thee rest from thy sorrow, and from thy fear, and from the hard bondage wherein thou was made to serve, man. All right? So the Israelites are made to serve hard bondage, man. All right? The so-called blacks, Latinos, and Native Americans, man. All right? So it said what? He's going to give us rest from that. And on top of that, we're going to have these other nations in slavery, man. All right? So that's another clue that those Israelis are not the true Jews, man. The ones that call themselves Jewish today, Those are fake Jews, man. Those are converts, man. Those are actually, they come from the Khazarian Empire, man. All right? They're really descendants of Edom, man. The Edomites, okay? But what, like I said, this has to happen in order for them to be the children of Israel, man. All this would have had to happen already, man. Because the Lord said what? He would take them and put them in the land, and He would make their enemies their slaves, man. All right? In that land, okay? And there's a bunch of other prophecies that haven't been fulfilled as of yet, man. All right? For example, there should be 12 gates, right? Saying each name of the children of the tribes of Israel, man. That's not there, right? None of those prophecies came to pass yet, man. So that's how we know that those so-called Jews in the land, those Jewish people, are not the true Jews, man. All right? They don't fit any of those prophecies, man. The ones who fit the prophecies are you so-called blacks, Latinos, and Native Americans, man. You fit the prophecies of the Israelites, man. All right? So this is what we're coming to break down the strongholds and to explain the truth, man. All right? Because there's been a lot of lies that have been pushed out in the planet Earth, man. All right? The covering cast set upon all people, man. All right? These people don't know who they are. All right? They don't know they don't know which nation they come from. Okay? Okay, let me continue with that. That thou shalt take up this proverb against the king of Babylon and say, how had the oppressor ceased, the golden city ceased, man. All right? So we're going to take up a proverb against Babylon. Okay? The king of Babylon, excuse me. Which are you Edomites, man. You're the king of Babylon, man. Who rules Babylon? Who rules America, man? All right? And don't talk to me about no fucking Obama, man. Obama was a puppet, man. All right? Obama